Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of YouTube Developers Live. We have a very special show for you guys today. I know I always say that, but I actually mean that. First off, let's take a look at our fine crew today. Now, if there's something that you're seeing that's different, it's that there are 7 of us. So we have had the entire developer relations team from all around the world, and that means Mountain View, New York, here in our New York studio today to talk to you guys about some of our favorite moments from the last year of YouTube Developers Live. And in addition, we have 2 very, very special guests, people that you haven't seen on the show before. One is Amanda, our glorious leader, and Daryl, who's our summer intern. So why don't we go ahead and go around the room and all introduce ourselves for the viewers, just in case they don't already know who we are. I am Ikai Lan. I'm a member of YouTube Developer Relations. Obviously, let's not state the obvious. And I work here in New York City.
Hi everyone, I'm Ibrahim Mulukaya. I'm also New York City based, and I'm sure you guys seen me in this New York City before. So I'll hand it to Daryl.
Hi, I'm Daryl. I'm the summer intern and I work in Mountain View. I'm a rising junior at Stanford, and I'm working on a top secret project.
Ooh.
Hi, I'm Amanda, and I'm based in Silicon Valley.
I'm Yadek, based in Silicon Valley as well. I'm Jeff, and I'm based here in New York.
And I'm Jeremy, and I'm also based in Silicon Valley.
So as I mentioned, today we're going to be showing you guys our favorite moments from YouTube Developers Live. So all of us have gone out and picked out a short clip from our favorite show. In many of the cases, the shows, we are in the shows. So just putting that out there. Why don't we go and get started? Jeff, I believe you're up first.
Sure. Thanks, you guys. So yeah, I was a little biased in choosing my clip. This is the show that I was in. It's an interview I did a few months back with John Luther, who's one of the product managers for WebM and for VP8 and a lot of the really cool video encoding technology that we use at Google and YouTube. And in addition to being what I think was a really great show, I think it's a really great topic. So I hope folks go back and check out the full video afterwards. But we're going to show a short clip in which John reveals some of the secret history behind VP8, and it goes back a little bit further than you think.
Get into a little bit of the details as to why somebody would actually want to use WebM and VP8 versus some of the other formats and codecs that are out there. What are some advantages?
Well, one of the advantages of VP8 is that it's a very, very efficient codec. I mean, it was developed roughly 2009-ish, and then we were acquired in 2010.
So expecting you to say 2,000 years ago.
No.
This is a very ancient codec.
It's business that long. Not that long. Yeah.
Lots of papyrus, hardware acceleration, stuff like that. But
we were drawing the pixels by hand back when I first started in this.
So there you go. Now you know. And I'm going to hand things over to Amanda.
All right. So one of my favorite show in the session is basically the opening session from this year's Google I/O, where our product leader and our engineering leader articulated the areas of investment in the YouTube platforms that presents a lot of opportunities for developers to innovate and to leverage the YouTube platform to grow their business. So let's watch a clip from that session right now.
So this is the first time we're actually doing this and actually consciously thinking about what are some of the segments we're excited about. So the labels are still rough, but I'll try to explain them. In the top left is creation. You saw things like live streaming and capture. It's very exciting for us. We'll walk you through some examples, including a guest star. On the discovery and context side, these are the true viewer consumption-oriented apps. So folks like BuzzFeed, who might be all about news and really interesting moments, they are now integrating video fluidly so to keep engagement in their apps high. Then we have folks on the enterprise side. So enterprise is very hot right now, partially because there's a lot of money flowing to it. But also, when we look to the future, we think about tens, if not hundreds of $100 million run rate businesses being born on our platform. And in order to do that, we need platform companies out there who are building on our APIs to service those verticals. So we'll talk.
All right. So, if you are a developer looking for ideas and examples of what people have done on the YouTube platform, definitely check the show up and definitely contact one of us to get started. And now, Daryl, do you want to talk about your favorite show?
Sure. So one of my favorite presentations was actually the Topics API presentation. So why don't we roll the video first, and I'll talk about it afterward.
So not just to talk about what you can do with these narrow entities, but actually kind of want to show you what is possible with the central annotations that we have today. I'm not going to talk about what the demo does before I go into it, but you should know that this is not a rules-based demo. That is, it's agnostic about what kind of entity I'm querying for, and it's about maybe 60 lines of Python. So say, for example, I want to explore origami on YouTube. I don't know what origami is about, except it's about folding paper, but I want to learn more. So I look up the entity on Freebase, and how are videos categorized if I use entities? Well, it turns out that origami on YouTube tends to be different shapes of organisms, and I can use this to learn how to fold origami. So I can start learning folding roses, cats, and after I've spent enough time indoors folding origami, maybe I want to go outside and travel a little bit. So I want to look up, what do we have about travel on YouTube? Probably videos categorized into countries and cities. And sure enough, we have travel videos about different countries and different cities and so on.
That localhost, man, that's like my favorite website.
So in that clip, Philippe demonstrated the kinds of apps you can develop with the YouTube Topics API. And I really like this presentation because of two main reasons. First, it shows you the power of the YouTube Topics API. So in the app you develop, you can search for a keyword, and it will return a list of search results grouped by a secondary topic, such as travel destination. And I think the Topics API really opens up a lot of possibilities for developers who are interested in using semantic data. And second of all, they explain the ranking mechanism that YouTube uses in order to generate the topics for each video. So we use three main things. We use text annotations, we use audio-visual data from videos, and we also use comments data to generate these topics for each video. And the result is that you as a developer get a concise and accurate list of topics for each video to use as semantic data. So I recommend that anyone interested in using semantic data for videos takes a look at the video. Cool. And with that, I'll pass it off to Jeremy.
Great. So actually mine took place in space and underwater. So why don't we roll the clip and then I'll add some color.
It's going to be a tough act to follow, Jeremy.
This is what they were showing, and you can actually click. So let's say I'm in space now, but I want to be underwater. I just click and see it takes me now to an underwater. So this is using your APIs, correct?
Yeah, this is using the API. So from this app, we can retrieve the first image of the different video files that are loaded into the application. Okay. And then when you click here on the tablet, it sends a message to our REST API, which triggers a switch of the background.
Yeah, this is really cool, and of course our favorite YouTube dev sticker.
And then this is all happening in real time. We're doing all this processing only by using our software, so it's a very powerful tool.
Okay, maybe there was a couple more in there.
It looks like my wallpaper at home, just the YouTube developer's logo.
Yeah, I actually was plugging the stickers quite a bit there.
Yeah.
So that was one of our partners, Capella Systems, who actually uses our new live streaming API. And they did a really good job with it, and we actually did feature them also at Google I/O in our YouTube sandbox. And they did some really cool things with software doing the green screen while they're streaming to YouTube using that live streaming API. So I just wanted people to kind of see that it was kind of one of the cool things that we had at I/O. So with that, I'll turn it over to Yarik.
Thanks, Jeremy. All right, so I picked a show about the YouTube Android Player API. In fact, it was a very difficult decision for me which show to pick, because I think we've all done a lot of interesting shows in the last few quarters. A lot of new APIs have been launched, and we interviewed a lot of wonderful partners. But let's roll the tape, and then we'll talk a little bit about that show.
The video wall is an example of what you might be able to do with the app by putting all the components of the API together. So it's a simple demo of thumbnails flipping, and then one of the thumbnails will flip in and turn to a video. So that shows you how you can embed the videos within your UI and play and pause them programmatically.
Looks like that's 14,000.
Great. And moving along, there is a simple player view demo included as well. Can you tell us when one might want to include this code?
Sure. So the simple player view is just the simplest possible approach to using the API with embedding a video into your app. So this is just embedding a simple player view into the UI, nothing else apart from a text view, but you can put whatever you want above. And it's just showing how simple it is to embed it as a player view. We also have the simple player fragment, which is basically
There are three reasons why I actually think this is a really interesting show. Number one, the API that we were featuring is extremely powerful. So if you're building a mobile application and you are not embedding YouTube content in your application, take a look. It's very easy to do. And we went into details with Ross McElroy, who hopefully is watching us right now from the UK, where part of the show took place. The second reason is this show was actually kind of challenging to film. We were in 2 different locations, really around the world. So I was in Mountain View and Ross was actually in our London studio. And we're trying to pretend like we are actually operating the same equipment together, and it all kind of worked out. Number 3, actually, there were some challenges, so we have very memorable moments. We had to film the show twice and then edit it for many hours. So it was painful, but it was worth it, and I really encourage you to check out that API if you haven't. With that, I'll hand it over to Ibrahim.
Oh, yes. I actually picked an IO talk as well it was the broadcast yourself video, and I was talking about the live streaming API, and we had we want to give a demo that was to show how it was easy to just go to live, and I want to stream from my Android device, but I was real scared that I was using a public network that everyone was already on it. And we had an aha moment that it's not gonna work, but it really worked, and that was a great moment for me. And why don't we just go and see it? In this, and I will start streaming right now. And so looks like I started streaming. So let's see on the YouTube website. This time I'll just click. And my event is about to start. Let's give a few seconds in.
Give it a couple of seconds. It looks like the demo gods are sort of being favorable today. Can we blame the network?
Sorry?
Can we blame the network?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Why not? All right, give us a couple of seconds, and...
No, iOS 21 was actually, the question was, if I was streaming to iOS 13 or this event, actually as I just did here, I actually seemed to do a live streaming event. iOS 13 was the one I used it from my Java Eclipse. So today actually I showed the Eclipse, but you are free to use the language of your choice as well as something is happening. And yep, we are live.
Yeah, there we go. Should get the audience on.
Yeah, as you saw, Satiji was our product manager. Satiji Saga was trying to cover me up with nothing happened between and saying me oh, maybe the network cards are not in the best moment now. But as a side note, actually, we made our live streaming platform more available up to, all the way down to the 100 subscriber level. And I really encourage you to use the live streaming API. And we really want to see amazing apps built on the live streaming API. And by saying that, I want to hand it back to Ikai.
All right, so everyone here has shown some really cool videos with some really good content. One of my favorite I.O. talks is the one Daryl was talking about. So that's on our playlist, and you can get to our playlist at youtube.com/YouTubeDev. My favorite part from that playlist is there are a few different parts, and Daryl and I debated a little bit about that. There was one bit where we were talking about cute baby annotations, and there's another really funny bit about Kim Jong-il. So definitely, if you haven't seen the semantic annotations talk, I double recommend that talk. So I'm going to show you guys another clip from I.O. There's no meat in this content. This is purely just fluff. I'm only here for comic relief, as this clip will show you. So why don't we go ahead and run this clip.
So I've always wanted to be the guy who gets to give away all the goodies, right? We call that the Oprah moment. And today, I'm happy to announce that you get a YouTube, and you get a YouTube, and you get a YouTube. YouTube's for everyone in this audience. Good afternoon, everybody. It's good to see your energy level still up. I like that. You've had a lot of learning thrown at you, and you're going to have some more thrown at you today. My name is Ikai Lan. I'm a member of the YouTube Developer Relations team. I'm based out of New York City. Today we're going to be talking about best practices when working with mobile platforms and the YouTube API.
That's just the intro to the I/O talk, where I'm talking about mobile best practices, which really is kind of a pile-on onto the show Yark was talking about using the Android Player API. So I was nervous at that one for different reasons than Ibrahim. I can't blame the Wi-Fi if my jokes fall flat. So I think that's, yeah, right?
There you go.
So there you have it. There are some of our favorite moments. Like, it's really hard to pick. So a little bit of ego there, of what I call humble brag. And that was my clip. So Jeff?
Yeah, so it's been really great having everybody in New York for the show. And I'd actually want to reiterate what Ikai had mentioned. We put together a playlist that collects all the videos that we featured in the show. So there's a link to that playlist, from our main youtube.com/YouTubeDev channel. Be sure to subscribe to that channel. And also I'd recommend subscribing to youtube.com/Google Developers as well. We'll put video annotations on this video linking to all the individual shows so that you could get to them more easily when you're watching this. And just as always, going to plug the fact that Google Developer Relations is hiring. I do not know that we have more room in this studio for another team member. I guess that's kind of a nice.
Need to build a bigger studio.
Yeah, it's the kind of nice problems to solve to have such a big team that we need more space. So if you're interested in learning more about what we do, you could go to developers.google.com/jobs. And that's it for this week's show. It's been great having everybody here. And bye, everybody.
Bye.